Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and you guys already know what it is by the picture. It's what a deku was Air Sans, if I'm not correct. I left off right before the heroes attacked the villains, with the big fight between All Might and All For One. So, without further ado, let's jump in. So, the hero... Excuse me. Ooh. Let's say, the heroes ask Deku and Emma to come with them. Let's say they give them a temporary professional licenses, basically letting them do temporary hero work. So they get there, and all the stuff goes down, and all for one shows up, appears, and they stand back because All Might told them to. And All Might, when All Might starts losing, like All Might's like on its last legs right now, and Deku's like, all right, we gotta step in, and then Emma's like, yeah, we do. So they both rush All For One at top speeds, and Deku tries to string him up, but All For One hits him with that wind blast thing that I think he used. Then Emma comes in, throws some ink bones, and when they hit All For One, they form into an ink blaster directly in his face and blasts him, knocking him back a little. Then Deku comes in with his strings, ripping All For One into the air and smashing him into the ground with his strings. Then him and Emma both summon 5 Gaster Blasters each and hit All For One with them. Not All Might, All For One still conscious somehow. What they do to finish it off, Deku strings him up by his wrists. He's just floating in the sky because strings came down from the sky. Why not? And he has one around it. He's just stringed up there, looking like he just got crucified. And All For One's just there, stringed up, head to toe, and he's just done. He got wrecked by 2 first years in UA. He got wrecked. All the heroes get there. It was a live camera feed, so let's say before they start the work studies, let's say Nezu just gives the whole class 1A off because no way they stood. Let's say they give them a little break because no way are the students gonna be able to go to school at UA, knowing 2 UA students took down a major villain. The press is gonna be all over this for weeks now. So Nezu's like, yeah, let's give them a little break. Wait for the press to blow over before we start back school. Basically, they go throughout their little break. And say it's like a 2-week break. Nah, it's just a week break. It's just a week-long break. Which, to be honest, sounds pretty nice, to be honest. Just having a week off from school. Man, that sounds awesome. I wish I could get some of those more often. Am I right? But, yeah. Basically what Deku does during the break, he hangs out with Emma. He doesn't do much else because he already has full control over his quirk. So they just hang out for a week. Then the work studies. And let's say let's say, who? Yeah. Let's say Deku and Emma get accepted into Night-Eye's agency, because I feel like it. Because he what's his face? Night-Eye is very interested in their quirks, because they're so unique. They're so unique to him because he's never seen a quirk like them. They're two quirks. I'm sorry for the pause here, guys. I'm just doing. I had to grab something real quick. But yeah, the whole reason they're in there is because one, plot, and two, not as interested in their quirks. So to see Nighteye wants to see what their quirks can do. So basically, what he does, he just basically pits them against each other, makes them fight, and then they're like okay with this because why not? Why not? Just a little training session wouldn't hurt. So when Nezu gives the green light, go, they both jet at each other, and they're not holding anything back. They're throwing bones. They're shooting off gaster blasters. They got arrows shooting off, Deku shooting off strings. Emma's creating stuff all around, like big, like ink arms to try to hold Deku down, but that's not gonna work. They're just teleporting everywhere, making a mess of the stadium. And Deku, let's say he summoned a bunch of bones in mid-air, and he has strings wrapped around each of these, and he snatches the strings to the ground, raining the arena with bones. But Emma just goes into her ink form, not being affected by much. And let's say then they both summon like 10 gaster blasters, and when they both fire them off as Night-Eye's was about to end the fight, because this was about to get out of hand. They both fire them off, and when the pulses collide, that's what I'm gonna call it, the energy from the two gaster blasters collided. It made this big explosion, and when the smoke cleared, Deku and Emma were they tied. They drawed. It's basically a stalemate because both of them have things that can counter the other one, and they're just like all tired out, and Night-Eye's just in complete shock of what these two could do. And let's say Emma and Deku are on patrol one day, and they're walking down the sidewalk patrolling, right? And they walk in front of this alleyway, and this little girl comes running out of this hallway. Whoa. And bumps into Deku. Deku looks down to see this girl, bluish teal hair, with bandages all over her arms and legs. And Deku's like, oh dang, what? You okay, kid? And Airy, it's Airy. Airy, it's just in complete fear. And Deku's like, who did this to you? And then he sees Overhaul coming out of the alleyway behind Airy. And then Deku kind of points to kind of gives the gesture to Emma to get Eri and go. I'll deal with this. Then Emma basically gets the signal. She picks up Eri and runs away. So basically teleports to the where Nighteye and Bubble Girl are. Because, you know, why not? Plot. And yeah. And then Deku's just there, eyeing Chisaki dead in the eyes. And Deku puts on a serious face for this one. And he's like, so, give me one good explanation for why a little girl covered head to toe in bandages is running away from you. Give me one good reason, and I may just not string you up and turn you in. And then like a bunch of other pro heroes show up because, you know, this is a highly dangerous villain. Basically, they're evacuating all the citizens from the area because stuff's about to go down. Basically, then Chisaki rushes Deku. Deku dodging every time he tries to use his quirk on him. And then Chisaki touches the ground, making a bunch of spikes. Deku just teleports above the spikes, trying to string up what's his face? Overhaul. But that's not really working because he can just reform the ground around him to block him. Then let's say he had some of his goons hanging around with him. So they get there, and Deku's basically fighting Overhaul and two of his minions. But they're like the higher ranked ones. It's like the dude in the dude in the full Plague Doctor outfit, and the dude in the white hoodie thing. And then Chisaki is getting desperate here, so he kind of does the forming thing. Now let's say it's the big dude and the Plague Doctor dude. So Chisaki kind of does the merge thing with the Plague Doctor dude. And then Deku's fighting that thing. But every time Chisaki tries to grab him, Deku just rips the arms off with his strings. And then Chisaki gets desperate and then turns into a big monster Overhaul. And Deku's like, and Deku cracks his neck. He's like, okay, time to get serious. His pupils disappear. His eyes filled with error signs. And he calls out his special move. And he calls out his special move, String Shot. And strings just shoot out everywhere, like from his frontal part of his body, from his arms and hands and fingers. He calls out a move, String Shot. And these strings just all like tangle up Overhaul's body. And Deku, it all comes down to one string, and Deku just yanks the thing, tearing Chisaki's extra appendages off. Ripping them off one by one, slowly but painfully, with his strings. And then Chisaki is taken into custody by the pros. All the stuff goes to canon. School festival thing, it plays out as normal. Yet, let's say Deku's the guitarist and Emma's the lead singer. But Deku's playing guitar and singing. Because why not? And the gentle criminal thing, Deku just stringed him up as soon as he found out who he was. But that's it for this part, guys. it for this series. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.